Hey guys, it's Lord of Fish. So today we're playing this modern Merfolk deck in a modern league. I talked about the deck list earlier in the video, which should be listed right here. So today we play against a Rakdos Elemental deck. It's super weird and interesting, but they have a few payoffs, and I think it's just interesting to see a different approach to how you can assemble damage, while also kind of running a tribal theme. So tell me what you think of our opponent's deck in the comments below if you make it to the end. So with that said, let's get into the video. Okay, so we lost a die roll. In this hand, it's a no-lander. We can't keep this. I mean, we could technically draw 2 lands, but it's not worth the risk. This hand, it's not the best, but it's more keepable. So I think we're going to bottom a land here, but the question is what land? I think it's Waterlogged Grove because we don't want to take too much damage, and Mutavault can be quite useful. So let's see what our opponent does here. Alright, Mountain, and what else? Goblin Guide. Okay, so this is probably burn. Doesn't necessarily mean it's burn, but pretty sure. Alright, so let's see if we draw a land off the top here. Oh, we do. It's an island. Okay. That's nice. Tideshaper. Okay, so Tideshaper's really good mana denial versus the burn deck, but right now we're just going to drop Ether Vial because Tideshaper, we do not want it as a 1-drop at all. Wait, Blood Crypt? They're... Okay. I'm very Dread Horde Butcher. What does this do again? Reduce combat damage. Okay, counter when it dies. Okay, now I really don't know what we're playing against and how good Tideshaper is at this point. Guess we're just gonna take 3. See if there's a lance on top. Okay, we're gonna draw Merfolk Trickster. That actually changes things, because what we could have done is played Spreading Seas, enchanting the Blood Crypt, ticked up Ether Vial, and then used Tideshaper as a blocker. But Merfolk Trickster can tap down one of their creatures. So... our opponent knows we have Merfolk Trickster. If we want to go the Spreading Seas Tideshaper route, we would play Mutavault. But I think holding up Merfolk Trickster is good here, but I could definitely see going for the other line as well. I would prefer not to lose my Tideshaper to, like, one of their creatures, but, yeah, I'm gonna hold up Merfolk Trickster. So, they're gonna fetch, that's fine. Another Blood Crypt, but right now I really don't know what we're playing against. They shocked? Another Goblin Guide. Okay, so they have 6 power on board right now. That's actually pretty big. Okay, so they have 9 power on board. That is quite a bit for turn 3. But, okay, so before combat, we'll play Trickster, and what are we gonna tap down? I think we'll go for... I'll go for Dread Horde Butcher because I don't want that thing to accumulate too many counters over the game, but I could definitely see a point going for the 3/3 just to save some life. And I think our opponent's gonna go all in, but I could be wrong. Alright, they're going all in. So let's see if we get a land off top here. Master the Poltrine. So that means Merfolk Trickster can be a 3/3, which will easily block some of their creatures, so I actually don't want to block right now. We could tick Vial up, and I think it would be nice if we just place Sueloon out here, because she'll be a really nice blocker, and then having Master the Poltrine to make Merfolk Trickster an even better blocker is great, so we can block their 3/3 with Sueloon, then block like Dread Horde with Merfolk Trickster, take 4, and I think our board state will be fine then. So let's see what they do. Oh, they discard Unearth. Okay, well that is interesting. Spark Elemental. Okay, that's a little bit more damage. And Thunderkin Awakener, so there's nothing they could get back, right? They just have a Marsh Flats and Unearth. So Thunderkin Awakener is just a 1/2 with haste right now, but their opponent's board is pretty good for turn 4. So before combat, I guess we're just gonna file and master, right? Well, let's see what our opponent does. They're empty-handed, that's good. The question is, can we deal with their board state? Okay, so they are really going on. Goblin Guide triggers, Force of Negation. That seems pretty not useful right now. Yeah, but before blocks, gonna file. I think we're gonna file and master, right? I don't see a point to doing this before damage. I mean, our opponent's empty-handed. Might as well do it when I remember. Alright. So, how much damage are they looking at? 4, 6, 9, 12? So, okay, moving to blocks. We would block. Okay, we'll block. They're 3/3 with the Swayloon. Block there, and do we block with Master or Poltrine? How much damage are we looking at right now? We're looking at 4 + 3, 7 damage. So we'll go down to 1. This Master the Poltrine is probably going to be our only outlet to even stabilizing. So our board state's kind of bad right now, honestly. They're going to... I think we just have to do it like this. Okay. Oh my gosh. I completely forgot about that card. Okay. Alright. That was a really big misplay. But to be fair, I really don't play against this deck often. I mean, that was a big misplay, but I mean, alright, let's just go to sideboarding. So for sideboarding, I really didn't know what to do because my opponent's deck list is really interesting. I figured Force of Negation was bad because the only card I saw that I could counter with it was Unearth, and they didn't even cast it that game. I really didn't know what to bring in though, so I added in Kira because I saw a few of their creatures had some targeted effects, but not many. I also added in Spell Pierce because I figure it will be a more efficient way to deal with any of their non-creature spells, and I want to learn a little bit more about my opponent's deck. So honestly, I'm not a fan of the sideboarding. Let me know what you would have done in the comments below, and I'll see you for game 2. Okay, so we won the die roll, and although this hand isn't good, we have some decent cards. I mean, we have an Aether Vial to run out on turn 1. We can play Lord of Atlantis on turn 2. I mean, and I don't know if Kira's good here or not, but I think it'll be exceptional. So then we'll just pass here. With 3 lands, we'll probably be able to cast Subtlety, so that's fine. Let's see, do they do anything on turn 1? Okay, they have Spark Elemental, so that's fine. No reason to Subtlety it. In his deck, I don't know if it's better than Lightning Bolt. but we'll see. So we're just gonna tick up Ether Vial. Okay, we draw a land, so it makes sense to run out Lord of Atlantis here, and then we will pass. Okay, so they play another land, and let's see what this is. Terminate. Okay, so we know they're actually running removal now. But this makes me beg the question. So they're running Unearth and Terminate. We're gonna take a file here, but why are they really splashing black? Because wouldn't they run Lightning Bolt as better removal? And I don't know, I wonder what they're using the black for. So we'll cast Kira. So we know that they have Terminate, so Kira's not gonna be terrible here actually. And we drew a Subtlety, so that means we'll be able to play Waterlogged Grove and hold up Subtleties. But let's see what our opponent does here. Okay, so we can... So this is basically going to swing for 8, right? I don't think it's... Look, we only have a Kira on board right now. And if we subtlety this, we're just going to delay what's inevitably going to be 8 damage. We let this resolve, we eventually take the 8. Subtlety will do some more work in later turns. So I don't think this is worth pitching our entire board just to delay one of their cards. So they're going to swing for 4. And I want to keep some board presence, so we're not gonna block. And I think they might have some means of removal, so I think Kira's decent. Okay, so we're gonna leave Vial on 2, and you leave Vial on 2 just in case you draw Silvergill Adept, because if you don't have a Merfolk to reveal, you're not paying 5 mana for that. So we top decked another Ether Vial. That's not good. We swing in with Kira since we're not blocking with her. And I'm definitely curious to see what our opponent will play this turn. Goblin Guide. Okay, so I actually think we're just gonna subtlety this because I don't know what else they have. And I think it's worth it to just get value when I know I can at least do something. So I wonder if they'll choose top or bottom. Personally, I think now that I'm hardcasting a subtlety, the Goblin Guide will be useless, so I would put it on bottom, but let's see what happens. So, I'm gonna target Goblin Guide. What do they choose? Okay, so they actually chose top. That's fine. I assume they're still gonna attack though. And I still think it's not worth blocking. So we're still going to leave Vial on 2 just in case of Silvergill Adept. And we're just going to attack with these. We draw Trickster, so what this means is we can pass the turn and do nothing. So we can hold up Subtlety, then Vial and Trickster. It'll be nice, so. Are they going to... Okay, they recast Goblin Guide. Same thing. We're just going to cast Subtlety, try to get value as we can. And then... yeah, I think this is fine. So, what are you doing right now? Thunderkin Awakener. So the only elemental they can bring back is that one. Okay, so that has haste. So before combat, we're just going to Vial in Trickster, tap it down. This means next turn we can swing. So the Celties, they're 3 power, so that's 6, then 4. So we can swing for 10 next turn. I think I want to keep up like 1 blocker, but swinging in for 10 is definitely good, and we'll bring our opponent down to 3. So I think that's what let's see what we draw. Still gonna leave Vial on 2 just in case we draw Silvergill Adept. Okay, Mutavault, we'll play that down. And then do I want to sack Waterlogged Grove? Because we're not really doing anything right now. And if we draw, like, Subtlety, we won't have the mana. We will have the mana next turn, and we won't have the mana this turn anyway. So I think we're going to sack Waterlogged Grove here. Silvergill Adept. Okay, so we're going to Vial that in. And let's see what's on top. Trickster. Okay, so that's fine. That means we can easily just swing in for 10. Have Trickster to tap down anything. Silvergill is an extra blocker, and I think we're looking pretty good here, even though we're at 7. Let's see what our opponent can do, though. So if they are running Bolt, that would really be the best outlet, like 3 Lightning Bolts right now, but I think we're looking pretty good here. Goblin Guide? Okay, that's fine. You can finally let that resolve. Alright. For combat, so toughness less than, so they have that, which means we'll Trickster, tap down that, and just so they don't get the 3-1, and then Goblin Guide, we can block that if they choose attacking, which I wouldn't even at this point. Well, actually, they're basically dead now. What could they have? So we'll tap down this. Without Trickster, would they have been able to kill me? Because they would attack with that, and Goblin Guide, I block the Goblin Guide, I take 1, no. I would still be fine without Trickster, and I would have Mutavault as a blocker if that was really desperate, so yeah, I think this is game, but let's see what happens. So, alright, is this land on top? I don't know why they're attacking, but okay, we got it in Vial on top, but that's okay. We're gonna block with Silvergill Adept. Okay. Okay, we win. That was pretty fun and interesting. I think we learned a little bit more about our opponent's deck. And with that said, let's get into game 3. So for sideboarding, I still know very little about my opponent's deck, even though we technically got some more information. I didn't know exactly what to do, and I just ran the deck back. So with that said, let's get into game 3. Okay, so we're on the draw. This hand, if it had an island, it would be pretty keepable, but we can't do that. Alright, this hand's more keepable. I'm fine with it. What do we bottom? Do we bottom Kira? I don't like it. Man, okay, let's be realistic here. How useful will Spell Pierce be? But we're on the draw, so if they have a turn 1 play, Spell Pierce would be good. What type of turn 1 play would they have? I mean, mulligan, so what are we going to pitch to Subtlety? The Spell Pierce? We're going to keep Master of the Pearl Transfiguration. So I think this is like... So this is obvious. This is between Kira, Subtlety, and Spell Pierce. We also only have 2 lands, so hard casting Subtlety will be kind of hard. But... this is actually pretty hard. I think we'll go first. Do I go for Spell Pierce? This isn't, like, Spell Pierce would be the salty target, and I think we might as well have the Spell Pierce. Okay, so we'll bottom Subtlety. Let's just hope there's a good target for Spell Pierce. They're passing. Okay. Guess we'll pass and see if we're gonna Spell Pierce anything, because if we don't Spell Pierce anything now, we're not gonna use that Spell Pierce. Really? Okay, Mountain. Okay, so they're just gonna swing for 3. That's fine. Okay. Village Rites. That is not resolving. I'm going to gladly Spell Pierce that. Very gladly. Oh, that is another card they're splashing black for. Village Rites. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna run out an island and Master of the Pearl Trident. That's all we can do here with it. So, next turn we can either play out Kira or Swayloon. So let's see what our opponent does here. Okay, they play a dragon. Got it. So what could they do? I mean, they could do a lot of things. They could. Thunderkin Awakening, so that has to resolve, and they'll bring back their 3/1 if they bother attacking. Okay. So I think we're gonna block the Thunderkin with Master the Pearl Trident? I mean, what would be the drawback of blocking? Lava Spike? I don't think they would have Lava Spike in their deck. Oh no, Lava Dart, sorry. Yeah, I don't think they would have Lava Dart in their deck. So I think this is the right play. Going to the end step. This looks good for a Master of the Pearl Trident. Okay, Aether Vial, that is pretty useless right now. So we could either go for Kira or Swayloon, being the most mana efficient plays. And I think we'll go for Swayloon just because they might have some larger creatures which I need to deal with. I mean larger, I mean like pretty high power. And I think Swayloon's going to be great in defense there. And she still offers some protection with Ward 1, which can be pretty relevant. And untapping with her will feel great. And if necessary, we can play Kira next turn if we really want the protection. So let's see what our opponent does this turn. Okay, so they play another basic. That's fine. And a lightning skelemental. Interesting. I mean, this is gonna resolve, but well, I don't. So we have to discard 2. So that's another reason why they're playing black. So I don't think this is worth blocking with Swayloon because we're still going to discard 2 cards. We're going to lose Swayloon and we're only going to save... Actually, no, we would save 5 life. That's pretty good, but I don't think it's worth losing a Swayloon over. So what do we discard? We're... Master of the Pearl Trident or Kira? Okay, well, we're definitely discarding Aether Vial. But between Kira and Master the Pearl Trident, what do I discard? I think it's gonna be Kira, because if I can give Swaylun indestructible, that would be really nice, and having another Lord just to swing in for more damage is really good. So I think this is what we do here. So we're down to 8, which is a pretty vulnerable life. Okay, so we'll play Master the Pearl Trident. Swinging in for an extra 2, I think, is worth it more than to see what we draw with Swaylun. And also giving Swaylun indestructible before combat is pretty useful. So let's see what we can get off the Swaylun trigger. Silvergill Adept. Okay, so we can't cast that right now because we only have 1 mana, but next turn that'll be a decent play. And our opponent's down to 10. Considering we have 6. We have quite a bit of damage right now next turn. I mean, this is actually looking pretty good right now, even though our opponent was on the play. So let's see what they do. Goblin Guide, okay, well that's very easily blockable with Master the Pearl Trident. So they're gonna unearth. Okay. Alright, so then when that attacks, you can bring back Lightning Skelemental. Okay. Alright. So you're gonna attack with those 2. Yeah, Lightning Skelemental. Okay. So let's see if we get a land. Oh, we do get a land. That's nice. So let's see. So we have to block here. If I block the Awakening, then we take Xaxes and die. If I block Goblin Guide, we go down to 7. If I block Lightning Skelemental, we go down less. We go down to, as we don't go down. We take 7 from if we block Goblin Guide, which means we'll go down to 1 if we block Goblin Guide. If we block Lightning Skelemental, we go to 2. No, yeah, I think I want to keep my Master of the Pearl Trident around, even if it means going down to 1, which is really risky, but yeah, we have lethal next turn, so I think we just need to do this. Going down to 1 life, we'll discard. Well, what are we gonna discard? Actually, so down to 1 hurts. Okay, we'll discard an island, and then so we have Silvergill Adept or Swaylun, but we're not going to even guarantee if we discard Swaylun, we're not going to guarantee an extra card to reveal to Silvergill Adept, which basically means Swaylun, we can at least attack with Swaylun and play another Swaylun if we're really desperate. So Silvergill Adept is not, if we discard Swaylun, Silvergill Adept might not even be castable, so I think we should discard Silvergill Adept to this. And wow, down to 1. This is so they're gonna sack that. That's fine. So this is we're just gonna really pray right now that our opponent doesn't have lightning bolt or anything. Okay, another land. I think we just go all in now. Right? I mean, don't play anything. We're gonna attack. I mean, right now we're down to 1. We can play back Sway Loon if anything. Because the draw. What do we draw? Okay, our opponent scoops to match. That was actually pretty fun. I'll see you next time.